You've gone from being my guest host, you can't ask yourself your own questions.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
And to being a reporter. So what's the story today?
Today we're going to talk a little bit about the Facebook IPO.
Oh boy.
And, what has transpired over the past few days and the ongoing stories and issues that have surrounded the IPO and the distribution.
I was surprised it went up yesterday. I was expecting it to be another down day.
Well, with the market as it was in a weak condition, I was actually surprised as well surrounding the ongoing reports that are coming out about the IPO. But it's a hot topic. It was a hot topic actually earlier last week as well. It's been an exciting IPO to watch. We're getting a lot of calls from clients just asking our opinion, and it should be stated that we do not recommend, hold, or have any investment in Facebook ourselves. But it is it's a culture, and everybody knows what Facebook does. It's literally a verb these days.
It's almost omnipresent.
It really is. I mean, I
it's
know
like highways. It's just there and you use it.
It's just there, and
but you don't pay for it.
Exactly. And the surrounding that, the major issue was first the Nasdaq unable to handle the incredible amount of volume. It traded about 571 million shares on Friday, and it just was not able to handle that kind of volume. So it a little bit tarnished the Nasdaq, who really wants to have those technology IPOs. But it ran into some issues where people were not getting their reports on time for their executions. And we're talking about hours.
Right.
So when people are entering orders or trying to cancel orders, the first step was, did my order go through, or I want to cancel it depending upon what the market price or limit orders. And people were not getting reports for hours on end, up to about 6 to 7 hours. So people were duplicating their orders, buying it twice, selling it twice, because they had no idea what was going on. So that was a kind of a major tarnish on NASDAQ. So that's being investigated as well. So that was the first step.
That's tarnish number one.
That's tarnish number one.
And we're going to have more, I know, coming.
Yes. So the ongoing reports that ended up coming out was also the adjusted estimates on the stock itself.
Right.
And Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs that came out with their estimates and the revised reports that came out, which later on caused the stock to come down. And the issue at hand is why wasn't it disclosed to all investors that they adjusted their estimates just days before the IPO? And with that being said, it's a shocking thing, but unfortunately with the Securities Act of 1933, a lot of that ends up happening with that the underwriters have privy information for their client, Facebook, and if they are able to talk to management, ongoing issues that the investors see, analysts, when they write reports based on that, are not allowed to publicly distribute those.
Right.
They can talk and they can make opinions and give their opinion to investors, but they can't issue analyst reports based on the screen. Now that is an old rule that they're looking at once again. There's a great interview on Bloomberg News this morning with Arthur Levitt, the previous chairman of the SEC, that some of these regulations and famous acts of 1933 are no longer really valid at these points. So we really need those to be revised.
Well, you just mentioned 1933, so 80-year-old laws, I assume, are extraordinarily outdated. That's just after the car was starting to be mass-produced, and
exactly.
The world has changed a little bit.
A lot of these things were made given the depression issues, and we've gone through quite a bit of changes and sophistication of the markets at this point.
Right.
So, ongoing, the issue at hand, why they were revising estimates, was the fact that they looked at the subscriber base was growing far too quickly versus the ad base. So one of the major issues that they're having is people are using Facebook more and more on their iPhones, on their hand application devices. Well, when you do that, you don't see the ads. So the revenues they're concerned about is the ad revenue that is going to come into play.
I have never noticed an ad on Facebook.